Are we not overdoing the amount of Sium Sefer Torah?
Seymour J. Abrams was a banker in Chicago. He actually once came by the Rebbe for dollars, and he told the Rebbe he's the only Shomer Shabbos banker in Chicago, and the Rebbe answered him, I hope you don't put copyright on it. So anyway, this banker, Seymour J. Abrams, gets a knock on his door one day. Who's by his door? Rabbi Yitzchak Wolf in Chicago, the dean of the Cheder in Chicago, is knocking on his door. And he asks him if he can help out in the Cheder to fund financially. Seymour J. Abrams answers him and says his Inyan, his thing that his pet project is to rescue Torahs from Europe. That's what he does. He rescues Torahs. So I'm sorry, I'm not into the educational business. I don't fund education. I fund Sefer Torah. This is what I do. So Rabbi Wolf knocks on his door a week later, and he brings with him 2 young children that just came out of Russia. And he says, Mr. Banker, I want to talk to you. I have 2 Sefer Torah that came out of Russia. Can you rescue them? Can you help them have an education? Can you help Lebedike Sefer Torah? Can you help an alive Sefer Torah? And Mr. Abrams got the point, and he ended up having his name on the school, and he rescued a lot of Sefer Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu broke the luchos for the kavod of Yidden. The Torah doesn't need another Torah in the Aron Kodesh. The Torah needs Lebedike Sefer Torah. The Torah needs alive Jews that learn Torah. If we're looking for kavod HaTorah and kavod HaNifter, to dedicate a Torah for the kavod of the Nifter, let's adopt a live Sefer Torah. There are dozens of children who need to learn Torah, who don't have a tutor, who don't have tuition to pay. Make a project. Go to a manahal of a school and say, I'm looking to adopt a child from 1st to 7th grade. It's almost the same cost as the Sium Sefer Torah with the grand party afterwards. I'll have a wall in the school to dedicate the name of the Nifter, that in the honor of the Nifter, there's a child getting an education. And don't just give the money for the education. Follow up with the manahal. The manahal should tell you if there's a cost for a tutor, if there's a cost for extra learning curriculum for the boy. You're adopting that boy. And it's even cheaper because you can give it over 7 years. And here you have an alive Sefer Torah. What did the Rebbe say when they came and said, let's make an empty seat after the Holocaust? He says, fill up the seat. Moshe Rabbeinu broke the luchos. And let's conclude with the famous story with Rav Zusha Manipali and Amelech of Lizhansk, 2 great tzaddikim. How were the father zeich to have 2 such great tzaddikim? So the story is told that the father turned around to the Eibishter. He was a Pashita Yid. He was a simple Jew who brought down, he didn't even know how to read alphabets. And he told the Eibishter, I want my children to be Lebedike Sefer Torah. I want them to know to learn Torah. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to adopt 2 Yisayimim. I'm going to adopt 2 of your Kinderlach. And in that schus, you take my Kinderlach and make them into Sefer Torah. And Rav Zusha and Melech are 2 Sefer Torah that we all know of. Let's adopt Yiddish Kinderlach. Make a fanfare, make a Sium Sefer Torah, go through the streets and dance with the knowledge that you have a child that's now getting a real education, a Torah education, and you're dedicating the Nifter's name for that child. There are enough children that need it. Let's remember, the Aron Kodesh doesn't need another Sefer Torah. The Torah is crying and saying, my kavod, ich darf emetze that learns Torah. The Torah is crying and says, I need the Yidden. Between Araisa, Yisrael, and Kutshabrichu, between the 3, Yidden are the most important. Torah was broken for the Yidden. The Eibishter goes everything for the Yidden. We should have kavod HaTorah as kavod Yisrael. And dedicating a child's learning is both. Make a phone call, and if anybody needs any help in the Shadchanas, I'm happy to intervene and call the Menahal. And if you don't want to go through the process, I'll find you the child. But let's make a new campaign. Adopt a child. Adopt a Lebedike Sefer Torah. Obviously, if you're in a community and making a Sium Sefer Torah is going to bring more Yidden to learn Torah, because that is the way to bring Yidden to Torah. But if you're in a large community and there's many Sefer Torah, in a Crown Heights community, in a Borough Park, in Williamsburg, in all the communities that you have a lot of Yidden that there's enough Sifrei Torah in the Aron Kodesh. Over there, our job is to bring Yidden to learn Torah, to adopt a Levitic Sefer Torah. So again, if you're in a community and there's this is the way to bring Yidden to Torah by making a Sium Sefer Torah, obviously you do it. But if you're in a community that has many Sefer Torah, adopt a Levitic Sefer Torah. That's what we need.